What is Pythagorean theorem? Well, Pythagorean theorem says for a right triangle with hypotenuse C and sides of length A and B, C squared equals to A squared plus B squared. Okay, here is an application of Pythagorean theorem. An airplane flies from city A to city B, which is 200 miles of north and 140 miles west of A. So A is 200 and the B is 140, and we have to find distance AB, which is C. So we use the formula C equals to the square root of A squared plus B squared. So if substitute A is 200, so it becomes 200 squared, and substitute B for 140, it becomes 140 squared. Now we square 200, it becomes 440,000, and 140 you square it 196,000. Now add these numbers, you will get 59,600. Put on the calculators, it should be 244. So the distance between city A and city B is 244 miles. Distance formula. Distance between points x1, y1 and x2, y2 is given by this formula. D equals to square root of x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. So basically when you have to find the distance between 2 points, so you subtract the x values, square it, and then subtract the y values and square it, and then take the square root. That will give you the distance. So example 2, finding the distance between the points. So we're going to find the distance between the points 3, 1 and negative 3, 9. So here's the formula. D equals to the square root of x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. So we substitute x2 is negative 3, x1 is 3, and y2 is 9, and y1 is 1. But since both are negatives, we add. So it becomes square of negative 6 and become 9 minus 1, 8, square of 8. Now there's 36 and there should be, now remember the square of negative is positive. Now if you add it's 100 and take the square root is 10. On the web sign, if you have this kind of problem, do not use the calculator, you just simplify it. Okay, the midpoint formula. The midpoint of the line segment joining the points x1, y1 and x2, y2 is x1 plus x2 over 2, y1 plus y2 over 2. So basically it's the average of x values, and this is the average of what? Y values. Okay, finding the midpoint of a line segment. So this is a line segment joining these points 8, negative 2, negative 10, 4. So x1 is 8, x2 is negative 10, y1 is negative 2, and y2 is 4. So we're going to substitute these values in this formula, x1 plus x2 over 2, y1 plus y2 over 2. So the x1 is 8, and x2 is negative 10, and then y1 is negative 2 plus y2 is 4. Now 8 subtract 10 would be what? Negative 2 divided by 2. Negative 2 plus 2, 4 would be 2 divided by 2. So negative 2 over 2 would be negative 1, and 2 over 2 is 1, and that's the midpoint of the line segment joining the points 8, negative 2 and negative 10, 4. Finding the length of pass. A soccer player passes the ball. So a soccer player is here and he is 10 yards from the end line. So 10 yards from the end line. And then 10 yards from the sideline. It to a teammate who is 30 yards from the end line. So that's 30 miles. And 25 yards from the sideline. So we have to find how long is the pass. Well, the length of the pass is the distance between this point and this point. So we apply the distance formula. So the length of pass is the distance between the points 10, 10 and 25, 30. So we're going to substitute x1 is 10, x2 is 25, and y1 is 10, and y2 is 30. And here's the formula: d equals to square root of x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. So x2 is 20, x1 is 10, y2 is 30, and y1 is 10. So 25 minus 10 is 15 squared, keep the square root. 30 minus 10, 20 square root. Now square root of 15 is 225. The square root of 20 is 400. Keep the square root, add 625. Now you take the square root. So it'll be 25 yards. Application of midpoint. In year 2018, the company sales were 30,000 thousands and 40,000 thousands in year 2022. Use the midpoint formula to estimate the sales in year 2020. Assume that the sales followed a linear pattern. So let's write down the year and sales as a point. So the year is 2018. So first we write the year and then we write the sales. Then here is 2022 and the sale is 40,000. And we have to find the sales in 2020. And you can notice that 2020 is in the middle of these 2 years. So we have to apply midpoint formula. So you write the midpoint formula, which is x1 plus x2 over 2, comma y1 plus y2 over 2. So we substitute the values of x1. And x1 is 2018 and x2 is 2022 and divide by 2. And then we write y1, which is 30,000, and then y2, which is 40,000. And divide by 2. Now we add these two numbers, so you get 40, 40 divided by 2. And this will be 70,000 divided by 2. Simplify with 2020 and become 35,000. So this is the year 2020, and that's a sale. So you can say sales in year 2020 were 35,000 thousands. Example 6, application of midpoint. In the year 2016, the company sales were 30,500 millions and 40,500 million in the year 2017. Use the midpoint formula to estimate the sales in 2018. Assume that sales followed a linear pattern. So let's write down the year and sales as points, 2016 and 30,500. And the year is 2017 and sale is 40,500. And then the year is 2018, the sales we have to find, we call white. So if you notice 2016, 2017, these 2 years, 2018 is not the middle point, midpoint of these 2 years. Actually, this is the midpoint. So you can find the midpoint of these 2 points and then equate to this one. So here's the midpoint, x1 plus x2 over 2, comma y1 plus y2 over 2. So we substitute x1 is 2016, y1 is 2018 divided by 2. And then y1 is 30,500 and y2 is what? Y2 divided by 2. So we're going to simplify. So we add these two, 4034 divided by 2. And 30,500 plus y2 over 2. So there's 2017. Now we equate to this here. Now, so 2017 is a match, so we're going to match to this one. Okay, so 30,500 plus y2 over 2 is 40,500. So let's solve for y2. So multiply by 2 both sides. Now cancel 2 with 2 and give you 30,500 plus y2. Here we multiply 40,500 with 2, it gives you 81,000. Now move the 30,500 to the right side as minus 30,500. Now subtract gives you 50,500, and that's the sales in year 50,500 in year 28.